Hey, 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 it's Chaos Queen here, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, and you are listening to Studio 2009.
Nothing. There is nothing wrong with your podcast player. Do not attempt to adjust the volume. Hello and welcome back into our studio. You are now inside Studio 2009, only on the Geekcast Radio Network. I am, of course, TFG1Mike, and joining me is the lovely ZeChaosQueen. Hi, Chaos. How are you?
Hi, doing pretty good.
Good, that's good. Chaos has been on episodes 69, 65, and 74, and the reason why I did them backwards is that's the way we recorded them. So listen to episode 69 first, which was our Armageddon 25th anniversary episode. Episode 65 was my video game origins, where she asked me the questions, and then episode 74 was where I asked her the gamer origins questions, and we are back to talk about a film from 1985, because next year in 2025 it will be the 40th anniversary of Once Bitten, starring Lauren Hutton, Jim Carrey, Cleavon Little, and a bunch of other people. So I didn't want to wait, and this is our Halloween episode this year, so happy Halloweener, everybody.
Happy Halloweener.
Oh boy, Once Bitten. So we were both 5 years old when this movie came out in 1985.
Excuse me, you never tell a lady's age.
I said 5 years old then. I didn't say how old you are now. They can do the math if they want to, but math is evil. This released November 15th, 1985.
Oh my Lord.
I did not know it was a November movie. I literally, because of all of the, and we'll get to this when we get to the full-on stuff, but like all of the Halloween dance and the this and the that and the cost, I figured this was like somewhere closer. It's kind of like how when The Simpsons first started in 1989, 1990, and they would do like the Treehouse of Terror or the Treehouse of Horror episodes either right before or right after Halloween, and it was always weird to me when they would do it after Halloween, because I'm like, but Halloween's over. It's time for Thanksgiving now. Anyway.
It is always time for Halloween.
Yes. All right, so this film was directed by Howard Storm. Screenplay was done by Jonathan Roberts and David Hines and Jeffrey House. The story was written by Dimitri Villard, and as I mentioned, Lauren Hutton, Jim Carrey, Karen Copkins, Cleavon Little are the four main stars. The music was done by John Dupree, and him I know specifically because of his work on some later films that I love, which are I'm pretty sure, wait, hold on. Make sure I'm right about this. Yes. He is the composer of later, 5 years from at the point of this film. He will compose Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze from 1991.
Lord.
As well as the third. He did all three Turtles films.
Wow.
In the 90s for music. Other things that he did for the music, A Private Function from 84. Obviously, like I said, Once Bitten. He did the music for A Fish Called Wanda from 1988. He did the music for UHF with Weird Al, so there's that. That movie is 35 years old this year. Yes, I know. I'm just making you feel old at this point, right?
You are.
Yes. Well, that's what happens when you talk about 40-year-old movies, because today's movies suck.
They do not. They just don't have the same...
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Chaos.
I wanted to say menage a trois. I knew that was wrong.
Just said it.
That's the point. That was the
bit. Oh, bit you.
These are the jokes.
Yeah. These are the jokes, folks.
Yeah.
Maybe these are the yolks, folks. No egg on my face.
Oh, darling. Oh, my word.
See, folks, we have to keep saying this stuff so she starts doing it herself, and then when she catches herself doing it...
Oh, I get so mad.
So embarrassed and bad.
I get so mad. You'll actually catch me doing it on stream, and then I'll yell at myself.
Yep, there was a whole plate up stream a couple of months ago, folks. At this point, yeah, yes, please do that again. There was a whole plate up stream where I was writing in the chat on her lovely YouTube channel, which we will talk about later. But
oh my, are we flustering the interviewer?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Not really. I'm always this red when talking to you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you do look good in red.
No, I really don't.
You kind of do.
You've never seen me in red. Unless it's my face, you've never seen me in red.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was that... Oh, I can tell a story. Yay, that's what podcasts are for, folks. There was this one time at Halloween... At
band camp?
The one time at Halloween camp where the sidewalk jumped up and bit me.
Ooh.
So this was 20... Oh, God, when was this? Oh God. All right.
I don't remember, but there's a whole lot of oh gods going on in here.
Yeah. Yes. And, well, this will be edited out because now I have to find this because now it's going to make me mad if I can't tell the story right. And heaven forbid I tell a story wrong.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, folks. So, yay, story time on the podcast. 8 years ago, the sidewalk jumped up and bit me.
Nibble, nibble.
That's nibble to the B. Get your mind out of the gutter, audience. Nibble. She said Nibble.
Oh, you'll know if I say the other.
I was watching where I was going. I wasn't not paying attention. And because of the cerebral palsy and everything else, my right foot does weird things sometimes, and it did a weird thing. It got caught on, and of course, right at the edge of the west end of Louisville, Kentucky, they do not have perfect sidewalks. They have ghetto sidewalks where every tile or every piece of cement, concrete, whatever sidewalks are made out of off the top of my head, they're all uneven. So you learn to step up or step down or whatever. Apparently, I didn't step up far enough. My foot got caught. And for me, because the cerebral palsy is on my right side, my go-to when I fall is I need to angle myself to lean and lay and fall on my left side because that's the good side. Because at least I'll be able to get myself back up. But yeah, I had a whole, they always say, oh, you should why do you got to wear your heart on your sleeve? Well, I wore my heart on my elbow that year for Halloween. But we're here, as I said, to talk about the 1985 film Once Bitten.
Beautiful lady vampire Lauren Hutton knows a delicious young virgin when she sees one. And Mark Kendall finds out his sexy one-night stand has been around for centuries.
Mark Kendall's a regular guy.
Get me out of here!
With normal problems.
I want to, but I want it to be special.
But Mark's just discovered...
Hello, tall, dark, and handsome.
...that his one-night stand...
I haven't had anything this pure since the Vienna Boys Choir hit town.
...has been around for centuries.
I'm 390 years old.
400 if you're a day.
Mark Kendall is necking...
Finally happened.
...with a vampire.
Did I enjoy it?
Now,
Ow.
He's losing his girl.
Bit my lip.
His customers.
Get out of here!
His image.
Look, I'm not there.
And his mind.
Oh, wow, I love your outfits.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Mark's got to choose
It's like you're not the Mark I thought I knew. You look like Jerry Lewis.
between his first love
I'm the owner of the pants you've been trying to get into for the last 4 years.
and his last date.
How would you like to spend eternity with me?
I can't. I gotta go to college.
Before his future goes up in smoke.
How'd you like your crotch set on fire? Ooh, rough trade.
Nothing is sacred in a tasty comedy
Can I have one of those uncooked ones?
you can sink your teeth into.
How was it?
Delicious.
Once Bitten.
I don't want to be a vampire. I'm a day person.
I don't think either of us saw this film in theaters. And is this the first time you'd ever seen this when we watched this just now?
No,
Okay.
I've seen it before. I just forgot about it because I don't have a great memory.
Yeah. This film, I saw it in 1995. 10 years after it came out. I was 15 at the time, and the reason why I had seen this film is because at the time it was on...
Dirty boy. 15?
Yeah, 15.
Dirty boy.
What? What's so dirty about this? I mean, I love when you say that, but damn.
Are you kidding me? Did you see her? Oh, yum.
Yeah, I saw her.
Yummy. Mama Lake.
Yes, absolutely. The point is that when I saw this at 15 in 95, it was a year after I saw Jim Carrey, and I'd already seen him in Living Color as Fire Marshal Bill, but in 94...
Oh, God.
Let me tell you something, Chaos. I can't really do Fire Marshal
No.
Bill, but let me tell you something. 94, Jim Carrey basically said, "Hey, Hollywood, here I am. I'm going to be super famous," because I thought this happened elsewhere. And I believe by this point, by the time this podcast airs, this episode will actually already be out on Geekcast Radio. My buddy Steve Megatron, co-creator of the network. That's right. He and I are going to do, actually, it was going to be an episode of Studio 2009, but I was like, this is too big to just be a Studio 2009 episode. We are going to take on the breakout year of Jim Carrey, because in 1994, he didn't just have one film. I originally thought it was one film for each year. Nope. And I remember this specifically because it's in my notes, but I'm not even looking at the notes for that episode. In February, July, and December of 94, he had the 3 biggest breakout hits that made him a superstar. Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, all released in the same year 30 years ago.
What?
Yep. I didn't remember it either, that they were released all in the same year.
30 years ago?
Yep.
Oh.
See, folks, sounds like she's 22, but on the inside, she's like dying because she realizes how old she is.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. Thank you so much.
You love me.
I don't know. Keep throwing in my face how old I am. We'll see how long that lasts.
Hey. So, yeah. Once Bitten. So, I saw this movie after I had seen Jim Carrey in those other movies, because I was 5 years old when this movie came out. I had no idea what this movie was, and like I said, it was on TV at the time in 1995. And honestly, I have not watched it since then. Because I know it. I know it like... Literally, when we watched it right before the podcast, when we watched it together, I was like... He gives... In part of the film, he gives Countess and Sebastian ice creams. And I'm like... They're going to throw them over the shoulder or put them on the ground or something. Yeet. And I'm like... Yeah, I know that... There was one point I thought he was going to come out of the freezer at the restaurant, but he didn't. Well, because I don't know. You never know.
I think that's because he jumped over the counter.
Yeah, that's probably what I was... That happens after. Yep. So, obviously, we did not see this film in theaters, and I just mentioned the last time I saw it, and you had mentioned the last time you saw it.
He didn't even bring me popcorn, guys.
I did, too.
No.
I did, too.
I had no popcorn. There was no popcorn.
But you had the Raisinets.
Ugh, but they're so gross.
Well, next time, you bring the popcorn.
Fine.
And she knows this is the truth, so it isn't like I'm throwing her under the bus or anything else. Out of the two of us, yes, I have brain damage and everything else, and sometimes my brain goes wonky and I don't remember stuff, but when it comes to quote-unquote geeky stuff, I remember more than everything else.
Oh, my God.
What? Oh, my God.
You are a geek encyclopedia, all right?
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
The dictionary of dork.
Well, at least you didn't say dictionary.
No. That's my server. That's another story.
That's a completely other story. She locked that down pretty quick, folks. Only she can make the dick jokes.
That's right. That's right. and that's another podcast altogether. Come back for some Geekcast After Dark.
Editor, clip that.
I broke the interviewer.
Oh boy. So I have not seen this movie in 30 years, but this movie, it doesn't live in my head. But when I think about vampire stuff, I don't think of Interview with the Vampire. I don't think of Lost Boys. I think of this, and I think of Angel from 1999, which, by the way, 25th anniversary.
Oh, great series.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Next time on Studio 2009, Mike and Chaos discuss Angel. Anyway.
Oh,
I gotta write that in the schedule somewhere then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for me, what I remember about the movie is practically everything. I almost didn't have to watch this, but since it had been a while since we had both seen it, I was like, I want this to be fresh in our minds. And we watched it, and I have never not liked this movie. I will say that there are a couple of scenes in it. There's one specific scene in this that, and I understand, and I say this all the time. I look at movies in the time that they were made.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about this movie was probably in production, and I'll look at the Wikipedia to actually get the production dates, but let's just say released in 85. Let's just say it was in production late 83, early 84, or whatever it is. And there's one scene in here that's a little, you just would never do that today because it's a little insensitive at this point.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. It's very, very bad. But my point is back then at that time,
in the time, it's what it was. It was, honestly, and we can discuss that whole scene.
Yep, we will. So what are your initial feelings and thoughts as we get to the film breakdown, Chaos?
It's Jim Carrey. How could it not be amazing?
That's very true. What are your highlights and lowlights of the film?
It really, really made me laugh. You know, it's 80s humor, you know? It's nostalgic. It's cute in a lot of ways with, like, the main relationship. And it's that dance scene. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. That was funny.
Yeah. It was like Dancing with the Stars before Dancing with the Stars was what it is.
It was fantastic. It reminded me of back in the day where when the girls would fight over a guy and they would just be doing stupid things. Not to that degree, but I mean, it got kind of close.
It wasn't a straight-up cat fight, though, because that's what the late 90s and the mid-2000s and probably nowadays would, like, it wouldn't be, like, that dance scene.
It wouldn't be that cute interaction. It would be, you know, like, they portray women nowadays as being so catty that they can't even, like, be friends or anything. And it's horrible, the way they portray female relationships these days. But
for me, highlights and lowlights, this time around, I couldn't get everything out. The only thing I did not see in this, because obviously the performance thing later will come later, but like watching this film again, I saw every character Jim played after this in his performance here. I saw I saw The Mask. I saw Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. The only one I didn't see, thank God, was Fire Marshal Bill, because that's like Jim Carrey on steroids.
Let me show you something.
That would not have gone well in this movie.
No.
I mean, maybe in the shower scene. Maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe. Oh God.
I don't have any lowlights for this film because, like you said, it's cute, it's fun, it's funny,
I mean, okay, obviously there were some, you know, drawbacks. Like, I mean, it's from the 80s, so it's going to be a little lackluster when it comes to things. Like, the hissing, really, you know, it was just, they found so many better ways to portray that kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of it was super cringe. But that was the point of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Favorite character moments for you?
Oh God. Robin at the dance when she just took it all off.
Yep.
That was great. That was this cute, meek, little mousy girl. And she's like, oh, hell no, bitch. Mm-hmm. That was perfect. I loved the performance. I loved the complete, turn for her character. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's her throughout the whole movie, because you're right. She has the best character development, character turn in the movie, because everybody else is, they're not bad, but his two buddies, they're just there to be his two buddies that want to get laid. And they eventually do. But it's one of those things where Robin is easily the standout amongst the group of friends that Mark has, even though she's his girlfriend, fiance, whatever. However you want to define it. Because I had forgotten that they were actually engaged. Even though I think he says it in the film early on.
No. What? No.
She gave him the ring back.
That was a promise ring.
Oh, it was was it a promise ring? Oh, I didn't.
Yes. For 18.
Well, you can be
in the 80s. No. 18 in the 80s, no. That was a promise ring. That was, no ding ding till the wedding ring kind of thing.
Well, she ain't got no ring at the end of the movie, and they ding-dinged all over that coffin, so...
They ding-dinged the hell out of that coffin very quickly.
Right. That's right. Wasn't even a minute. You couldn't have. You could have.
You couldn't have enjoyed it.
That comes later.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Robin is easily standout. And Jim as Mark Kendall... not as over the top as some of the other roles he will get to later in his career, but when he turns from being a human into being the vampire king or whatever, like you said, the hissing with some of the other characters I thought was bad, but his, towards the kids and stuff, wasn't as bad.
No, but oh my God. It was just really? That's what you're going to do? That is what scared them. Okay, cool.
Well, I think in Mark's case, he also showed him his teeth. So, you see vampire teeth, you're going to run.
He had regular teeth.
Did he? I thought he had the vampire teeth.
No, it didn't show the vampire teeth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That's why it was so cringe. It was really? You just hissed like a cat at them? Is your hair standing up? You okay, buddy? The kind of guy you would walk by and just look at okay, what have you been drinking, sir?
The wrong type of Kool-Aid, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, holy shit, kind of Kool-Aid. Do you have a favorite special effect from this? There weren't many special... the teeth maybe were special effects, obviously.
No, they weren't special effects. They were props. They were just added. Yeah, the only quote-unquote special effects that they had was the fog.
Yeah, that worked.
So there really weren't any special effects. I think the fog was overdone in that one scene, but...
Yeah, that's close to the end there.
But we're talking about the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, look, fog machine. Let's use 20 of them.
Oh, wait, I can show you a movie where fog machine is a problem.
Okay, back to Once Bitten.
Yeah, back to Once Bitten.
Tangent boy.
What? I didn't anything? This movie is 94 minutes long, so it's an hour and a half long.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the pacing of it?
I think the pacing was really good. I think it all kind of, the whole timeline of the movie just kind of went smoothly. And it wasn't okay, here's this guy, I don't want to, put too much out there in case you want to, go over certain parts of the movie. But here's this guy here's all about him. Okay, cool. This is, what's going to happen. You see, okay, yep, that's that character. And you know what's happening. You know what's going to happen. And it just lets you just enjoy the actual unfolding of the story.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I think the pacing's really good.
Yeah, the pacing is very, very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, the basic plot of the movie is Vampire Queen needs to find a virgin, and Mark's the virgin she wants. And she has to sample his blood 3 different times before midnight.
His vitality.
Yes, there you go. Before midnight, or else she becomes an old crow for the rest of her 400 years that she'll be alive. So
midnight on Halloween.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how it works,
She needs to get that Halloweener.
Yes, she does.
Wah wah.
And the funny thing is there's another quote-unquote comedy horror movie from the 80s that you're not supposed to feed people after midnight or else they're going to turn into a gremlin. Let's see, Cinderella had to be kissed before midnight, so technically the Countess is Cinderella in this case, but she's vampire Cinderella.
I kind of like that. A vampiress Cinderella.
Mm-hmm. There you go. For Cinderella. Oh boy. Disney, don't steal the idea.
Cinderella.
That's right. Oh god. But yeah, overall, this movie is fun. It's been fun. Favorite characters for me would probably be Mark and Robin. I like Countess and I like Sebastian too.
Sebastian is one of my favorites. He is amazing. She goes to call him. She gets next to the closet and says, "Come out of the closet." And he's like, "Darling, I've been out of the closet for 400 years. Oh, I loved it. Oh my god. He is fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. And it's one of those things where it's a fun movie that keeps your attention. You don't feel like you need to pause or get up or have a bathroom break. Which is a lost art in 2024. It's a movie that has enough within its time limit that doesn't make you want to pause it, take a break from it, come back to it. You start it, and you just sit there, lay there, hang upside down from the rafters, however you want to watch this movie.
It's a great movie to have a bowl of popcorn, which I didn't have.
What are you blaming me for? Go to the kitchen. I went to the kitchen. We were out of popcorn.
Damn it.
I wasn't the one that didn't put popcorn on the shopping list this week, dear.
I wanted popcorn. It's your fault.
Wait a minute. It's my fault she didn't have popcorn because she didn't put it on the shopping list, and I'm supposed to be telling
that's not my fault. He's the one that wanted to do the movie.
Yeah.
So he should have brought the popcorn.
I brought the movie. I give access to movie. You bring snacks.
Ugh.
I mean, I know I'm normally telepathetic, but I can't always be this telepathetic to realize.
Telepathetic?
That's right, telepathetic.
Are you trying to say telepathic?
No, I'm literally saying telepathetic because
he's being as cringe as the movie.
You love it.
Oh
boy. So I assume this is a yes, but did the film keep your interest throughout?
Oh god, yes. It was so funny.
Mm-hmm. Would you recommend this film to people?
Absolutely. It's super nostalgic.
See, I don't even normally I agree with you with that because I'm king of nostalgia over here because I live by nostalgia because nowadays there's nothing to be nostalgic about. And I'm getting too old for this shit, but it's one of those things where, yeah, I agree with you. It is very nostalgic in how it's made and how the cinematography is done, how the film is shot, how the locations are.
And how the acting. they use their acting more than, depending on props or CGI or effects, it's the acting. And that's what really, it keeps you kind of captive because if you're not paying attention to what they're doing, you're not really going to catch on to certain parts. And that's what I absolutely love about it. It's not like big and flashy. It's just acting. They're telling a story, and it's great.
Yep. It's a very subtle movie, and in the 2024 landscape, subtlety in Hollywood have been divorced for 40 years.
Yes, they have.
I mean, Hollywood is not subtle anymore. It hasn't been in a long time, and that is one of the reasons why I am such a nostalgiaist, and I look back on some of these old movies, and I miss the way movies were made, because I'm not saying they were made better back then, because look, you throw $300 million at a Marvel movie and it makes $17 billion. Yeah, that's going to be an amazing superhero, whatever. But I'm saying,
the thing is that today everybody wants what they want, and they want it now. They don't want to sit there and watch even 90 minutes of a movie. They want the recap. They want, okay, this is what happens. These are all the funny moments. Good. Let's move on with my day. It's been 15 minutes. I can watch, quote unquote, watch 8 more movies and fit it into the same time frame.
Oh, baby. If we're watching 8 more movies, then it's going to be from Friday to Sunday.
See, that's what I'm talking about, is that nowadays, and I have fallen onto this culture as well. Because with ADHD running rampant and everything, everything that's going on, people are being worked to death, and nobody has time for this kind of thing anymore. So it's content. Give me the content, give it to me now, and let's move on. And that's how it is. But that's not how it used to be. But shoot, I'll still sit there and watch recaps all the time.
Or listen to them.
Yeah, that too.
Remember, folks, geekcastradio.com, your number one source for podcasts. Unleash the geek in you.
Unleash your inner geek. Unless it's naked, then put some clothes on, you pervert. Editor.
What's that?
Oh, God.
Ma'am, I'm doing my job.
Sorry.
The thing about... Oh, wait a minute. Wait, no way. Is that who I think it? Hold on. Oh my God. So we're going to get into we've talked about Lauren Hutton a little bit. We've talked about Jim Carrey way too much, but I just realized who is in this movie, and I didn't even recognize her whatsoever. Oh my God. And that was Richard Shaw. Okay. So getting into the cast really quick, folks. Lauren Hutton. As the Countess. She is movie star gold from her film debut was as Kate in Paper Lion in 1968.
Okay, I was like, I have no idea. I've never heard. Wait, how the hell is she that old? What?
Baby, let me tell you something. Lauren Hutton, right now in 2024, she's about to be 81 on November 17th. She was born in 1943. She's still alive. She literally is the Countess at this point.
Okay. Okay. No, I need to look this up.
She is. I'm not lying. I'm on her Wikipedia. Yeah, she'll be 81 years old. Happy early birthday, Lauren Hutton. Movie star to the stars.
Oh, she's still gorgeous.
Yes, she is. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Countess then, Countess now.
Countess? My. Wow.
Yeah. She was Billy in The Gambler in 74. She was in Zorro the Gay Blade as Charlotte Taylor Wilson in 81. That's the name of the movie. That's the name of the movie. in the movie. Obviously, Once Bitten as the Countess in 85. She was in Time Stalkers in 87, Malone in 87. What the hell? American action thriller film starring Burt Reynolds. Oh, interesting.
Oh, that's another one. Burt Reynolds. He's a good actor.
Yep.
So
she
funny.
was in the 1990 film Fear. It's a thriller, horror, suspense film. Stars Ali Sheedy, Pruitt Trailer Vince, Michael O'Keefe, Lauren Hutton, and others. She was in 1994's My Father the Hero.
Mm-hmm.
She was in oh my god. Probably going to have to watch this. This one's 26 years old. Oh my god, now I just need to click on it. In 1988, she was in a film called Just a Little Harmless Sex. And this says it was 99, not 98. Why did it... Okay, June 11th, 99. 20... Wow. Okay, so is a American romantic sex comedy film which revolves around a stranded motorist and prostitutes offered to perform oral sex on a monogamous man who stops to help her. So it's basically Pretty Woman 10 years later, or 11 years later, or something like that. And then in television, her television debut was A Time for Love in 73. She was in the Paper Dolls in 84. She was in an episode of Fairy Tale. Oh my god. She was in an episode of Fairy Tale Theater in 85, playing the Snow Queen from The Lady of Summer. Or no, she was the Lady of Summer in the episode The Snow Queen. That's what it is. And Time Stalkers from 87. She was in Falcon Crest for 4 episodes from 87. Central Park West, which ran from 95 to 98. And she was in 1 episode of Nip Tuck from 2007. She hasn't done much since 2018. I Feel Pretty was the last film she was in. I mean, at almost 81 years old right now, you know, she's had a really good long career. And like I said, we mentioned Jim Carrey. Cleavon Little, who played Sebastian, I swear I've known him from somewhere. But the one that kind of got me was, and I didn't look this up beforehand, but the one character, Suzette, I guess she's one of the other followers. Or no, she's not the follower.
She's the friend. She's a friend of Robin.
She's Robin's friend, that's right.
Yeah.
You know who that's played by?
Who?
Megan Mullally. Karen Walker. Will and Grace, that's what it is. Karen Walker from... She's the one with the nasally voice.
No, she was not.
Megan Mullally was Suzette in the... I didn't even know that, but yeah.
Oh,
Karen Walker from
God.
Will and Grace. Main role, 244 episodes. Yeah.
It should have dawned on me. It really should have, when she just, the look on her face, the sound of her voice, the quippiness.
Yep.
Oh, God, she's a great actress.
Yeah, she's a great actress. I didn't even notice it. I didn't even make any... Until I saw her name on the Wikipedia article, I did not know.
I suck with names, so I...
Unfortunately, Sebastian, Cleavon Little, passed away October 22nd, 92. He was 53 at the time.
Oh.
But, I mean... cancer. He died of colon cancer. His debut was What's So Bad About Feeling Good in 1968, and his final film that he did before his death was Perfect Harmony in 1991. He was in Fletch Lives with Chevy Chase. He was George Foley in an episode of Alf. He was in Alf's Christmas special. Interesting. He was in Double Exposure. He was in an episode of The Fall Guy. I wish, I'm really going to have to go back and watch other stuff he was in because I love that guy. I love the character of Sebastian. Yeah, I love the character of Sebastian, but I just love the way that, so good. What do you think of the cast overall?
Overall, okay. Like in any movie, there's good actors, there's great actors, and then there's, why did you cast this person? And that one guy, the clueless one of the 2 guy friends,
Yes.
Not the one like, hey, you're a mature person, I'm a mature person.
Yeah,
Not that
him,
guy.
the other one, yeah.
The other one. It's like, why did you cast him?
Yeah.
It feels like he stumbled through his lines.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess maybe may have been the point. Like he was supposed to be this bumbling, guy or whatever, but he just like his faces and his acting didn't match the script.
Yeah.
And he was like one of the only ones. I mean, there were other characters, but they weren't prominent in the movie, so it was like, oh, he's an idiot. Okay, goodbye. And you never see him again. It's fantastic. But that guy was one of the mains. He's part of the main story. So it's just like, why did you cast him? I don't even know who he is, but
yeah, and his name isn't even like, that's the thing. Like Jamie and Russ, I think, are the two friends.
Yeah,
their names are Thomas Bellator and Skip Lackey. Thomas Bellator.
Tell me
what?
Who? Which one was the?
I don't. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look them up on IMDb later. But Thomas Bellator was Jamie, and Skip Lackey was Russ. But yeah, apparently they didn't do much because literally every other name in the cast, even some of the names in the vampires for Countess's vampires, even some of them have linked pages. These two guys do not have linked pages whatsoever. Which I guess can kind of tell you that apparently they didn't do much either before or after this. Maybe this was their only role. I don't know. I'm actually trying to look it up now. It doesn't even come up on IMDb. IMDb's like, who?
Like, who is that?
Yeah, literally, he's got IMDb pulled him up, and literally the only thing that's on his filmography is Once Bitten, Fatal Games, Detonator, like nothing. And he basically 84, 85, 2 films in 96, one thing in 2001, and then one thing 2002, one thing 2010. Not exactly like a giant body of work here. And then Skip Lackey, let's look him up because I can't forget that name. With that, like, I don't even need to copy and paste his name because it's like, well, and I don't remember which one was which, but yeah, no, same thing. Literally, Once Bitten is the most famous thing this guy's been in. Which that's kind of, I mean, if you're trying to break out into acting in Hollywood, especially back then, it was a lot harder than it. I mean, it's difficult now, but I mean, even with social media now, but like back then, you literally had to, the old saying, pound the pavement and go out and get the job. Whereas now,
yeah, no, absolutely, I get it, but I mean, the reason he didn't break out is because his acting made me break out. Jesus. I mean, no offense. I'm not a fantastic actress either, and I entertain. That's what I do for my business.
She's a fantastic actress, people. Don't listen to her.
Fantastic?
Yes, fantastique.
Fantastico.
Right, fantastico. I loved watching this. We didn't even need to, but I loved watching this with you. I love watching this again. This is such a...
It's almost like watching beginning Jim Carrey, what I wouldn't give for I don't know, what do you call them? They're like kiographies, but like on film.
So yeah,
I would kill. I would kill to see early years, like little kid. Like I want to see Jim Carrey as a child in school, because that kid would have been like one of my kids in school. Like, holy crap! I got a phone call for my daughter when she was in kindergarten. One of the teachers said, "See your butt? Put it in a chair, please." And so she decided to get on top of the table and pull her drawers down and start saying, see my butt, put it in a chair. See my butt, put it in a chair. And I could totally see Jim Carrey doing something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was like the funniest phone call I've ever gotten because I'm sitting there like, what do you want me to do? What? Like, did you laugh? Because I sure am.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. Carrey is timeless.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is. 100% he is. And the coolest thing about Jim Carrey is that his acting has, like, evolved over the last almost 40 years since this movie. Like, he had his super big breakout in the 90s. He did a bunch of other comedies as well, going along down the line, and then he did a lot of serious, like, what is it? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I think. Is
so good.
I think is one of his, if I remember correctly.
Wow. It's been so long, I don't know. I don't remember who was in that. Wow. I feel so old.
You're not that old. Stop it. You're very young. So
he's 6'2". Did you know that?
He's 6'2". Yes.
Yeah.
I did know that.
Damn you, freaking tree.
I'm 6'1".
Yeah, and you're a tree.
Yeah. Well, just don't. Yeah. Anyway, but looking at his, where is the damn?
Yes, it appears that he was in Eternal Sunshine. Yeah.
Yep, 2004. Oh my God, that movie is. Did you say it? Look at that year. Yep.
Oh. That's 20 years old?
Oh.
Oh God, Ace Ventura. Oh Lord. Oh God.
Bruce Almighty is 21 years old. At least he's legal now.
The Mask, though. Come on. All right, we're here to talk about Once Bitten. All right, we can have a whole Carrey podcast another time.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, you look at his other, like, again.
You can see each of his characters in this one character.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like I said, the only one you can't see is
Fire Marshal Bill.
Let me tell you something, Chaos. Like, yeah, you can't see Fire Marshal Bill in Mark Kendall, but between Ace Ventura, Stanley Ipkiss,
oh Lord,
Lloyd Christmas in Dumb and Dumber, the cable guy, I forget what his name is, and that Liar Liar. Oh, Liar Liar. We gotta watch.
Oh God,
we gotta watch Liar Liar.
That was so funny.
Yes, it was.
Anything with Jim Carrey, I'm on board.
So
except for that one movie.
Which one movie?
He did one where he played another comedian or something.
Oh, he played Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, I cannot stand.
I
cannot stand Kaufman.
Yeah, I don't even think I saw that movie, and that movie's God. Okay, so this is funny. Okay, 2000, so not 99, but in the year 2000, from October to December that year, I was working at Kroger, the grocery store chain Kroger. But back then. They had a video department, the grocery store folks. This was before, Walmart had been around for a long time, obviously, but this is before the big box store kind of got all into everything and whatever else. But literally, Kroger, like going into Winn-Dixie or going into Aldi's it had a video department.
I remember.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember when I was in my early 20s.
Yep.
When I would go into a chain called Price Chopper.
Yep.
They had a whole video department with VHS. Oh my God, I am old.
You're so young. No, knock it off. But I remember, and the only reason why I remember this is because we had by that time it was probably on VHS, we had copies of Man on the Moon, and everybody was looking for that movie. And I remember this story: a family of four, mother, father, and then twin daughters, came in.
Wow.
And they were looking for. They didn't know what they were looking for. They wanted a new movie, and they wanted this movie that they had heard about. They had kind of seen a trailer or something of it, but they didn't know what it was. I said, well, describe the movie to me. They said, okay, all as we remember is it's starring Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater, and there's water everywhere.
There's water everywhere.
Literally, I kid you not, Chaos. I was 20 years old in 2000. I'm a video store clerk inside Kroger, and I'm a geek. So, literally, without even skipping a beat, I didn't even have to notice the fact that the trailer was playing on the TV in the department. I'm like, oh, that's right here. It's called Hard Rain. Literally, I beeline to the movie, and they're like, how did you do that? I don't know. I just know these things.
I just know these things. It's what I do. I'm here and I know things.
That's right. I was there and I knew things. I don't know anything anymore, though. I'm too old.
I'm too old to know things now.
That's right. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, no, this movie, man, Once Bitten, it's so good. And this surprised me. And this is why I like going back and looking at some of these things, because as I mentioned earlier, you get movies nowadays where the web, like insert any news website that you want, Deadline, whatever, blah, 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 spent $17.7 million, and the box office was blah, 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 blah. This movie, I want to make sure I get the production right. Filmed over the course. Oh, wow. It was only filmed in the course of 45 days in and around Los Angeles. Which means that they probably shot this in 19... That's why it's a November 15th release. They probably shot this in the summer of 85, if it only took 45 days. Yeah. But the budget on this thing... $3.2 million, and the box office, $10 million US and Canada.
Wow.
So it was a box office,
Box office? It was a box office hit.
Yes. And of course, what really wants to come out of my mouth is it's a bollocks hit. And I'm like, where the hell did bollocks come from? I know where bollocks came from, but I can't talk anymore. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, folks. I should not be this tongue-tied and twisted.
Hello.
Hello.
It's me.
Mm-hmm.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
The bollocks office. Sorry. It just really struck me as funny. The bollocks office.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, and apparently you said it better than I could.
Oh, God.
So, folks, for years now at the Geekcast Radio Network, we have had, it used to be called the GCRN Universal Rating System. It is now called the Geek Meter, and the all-new Geek Meter at GCRN, unleashing the future of reviews. At GCRN, we are always striving to deliver the best possible content for our fellow geeks. That's why we're excited to unveil our revamped Universal Rating System, a fresh take on how we evaluate
all things geeky.
Out with the old, in with the new. Our dated star system is getting a major upgrade. Say hello to the Geek Meter, a sleek and informative way to gauge the awesomeness of any movie, TV show, comic book, video game, or whatever geeky treasure you have your eye on. Here's how it works. Witty titles. Hold on to your hats, because our reviewers are unleashing their comedic genius. Each review will have its own unique and hilarious title that reflects the overall rating. The mighty number. Don't worry, we haven't abandoned the numbers entirely. Each review will still feature a score, giving you a quick and easy way to assess the quality. The Globe of Goodness.
Globe of Goodness.
Replacing the stars is an all-new GCRN globe. This symbol represents the vast world of geek culture, and its different shades reflect the rating. A bright glowing globe indicates a must-see masterpiece, while a dimmer globe signifies something you might want to skip. We'll be incorporating the Geek Meter into all of our written reviews across every category, so the next time you're browsing GCRN, you'll know exactly what you're getting into with just a glance. And I'm not going to go through all of the descriptions, but I will go through all the titles of each of the things. So we have 0 to 5.0. So we've got 0 to 5 with half points. So 5.0, 4.5, 4.0, etc., etc., etc. A 5.0.
I think they understand how that works.
Well, in case this is their first listen, you never know. 5.0 is a masterpiece. 4.5 is remarkable. The mighty 4 is really good. 3.5 is good. 3 is average. 2.5 is below average. 2 is bad. 1.5 is really bad. A 1 globe is terrible. A 0.5 is abysmal, and a 0 is
pure garbage.
Yeah, pure garbage. Burn it with fire.
Oh, God.
So, Chaos, 0 to 5. What are you going to give Once Bitten?
Once Bitten. I would love to give Once Bitten a 5. However, I'm going to go with a 4. And the reason I am is because, like it says, there are some issues, but they don't ruin your experience. I could definitely rewatch this movie, at least once a year. I mean, it's a good movie. I think it's funny, but there are some issues, obviously. But it's fun. And I really enjoy it. And I mean, come on, Jim Carrey. So definitely a 4.
Yeah, 4 out of 5, folks. We don't even really need to cover it, but we will say that the part of the shower scene,
oof.
That's
big oof.
why. Big oof. That's why it gets the 4 out of 5, because, and again, we know and we respect and we understand that it was made in the time that it was made.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, because that was the one part of this entire movie that I did not remember. And literally, my reaction when you and I watched this, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, we both kind of went, oh, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all. And you would think that would take us out of the rest of the movie. It doesn't.
It didn't. Yeah.
It shocks us for like minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, and then the movie just moves on.
Yeah, and it takes it out of there. And there's no negative, there's no negative backlash from what was said and everything. Yeah. I mean, it is, I'm going to say it, it's homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's literally not even 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's not horrid. It's just shocking and wow.
Yeah. So we rated it. We did all that stuff. Anything else you would like to say about this movie before I send it to a quick ad break, ma'am?
No, I love it. Give it a watch.
Folks, you heard the lady. We're going to go to a quick podcast ad break. You're going to hear some ads and some other stuff. We're going to come back to close the show
right after these messages.
Hello, geeks and geekettes! Looking for a podcast that covers a vast array of topics? Then check out Altered Geek Unleashed, where we discuss our thoughts on this week's geeky news, tech, gaming, television shows, movies, cartoons, comics, and more. So, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks, every Friday on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hey, Jared, I have this idea for a new show for the network.
What is it?
You know how I liked the 1990s comic book series, The New Warriors?
Yes. Yep.
And you know how at the Long Box Crusade we're trying to get the YouTube channel going?
Yes, also correct.
Well, thanks. So, how about you and me do a live stream show about The New Warriors? You've never read the books before, and I have them, and so that's a great setup. we could give it a catchy name like Come Out to Play. Don't you think that's the greatest idea?
Sure, Delvin. That's a great idea. Just one question.
Yeah?
Why do you have me dangling off this ledge, holding me by only one arm?
Oh, yeah. Well, you'll get it soon. I hope. Come Out to Play, a New Warriors podcast, comes to you live on YouTube every second Tuesday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Longbox Crusade channel. If you can't watch it there, we replay them on the Longbox Crusade Network podcast feed, available anywhere podcasts can be found. We invite you to come along for the ride, or in other words, New Warriors, come out to play.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where a punk rock band of brothers get together to talk about one of our shared loves, toy collecting.
Toy hunt by day, punk rock band by night. We'll take any excuse to get in the van.
We all collect different toy lines like those real American heroes.
G.I. Joe! To the toys that are more than meets the eye, Transformers.
To He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
From vintage to modern and all topics in between, you can always expect some rowdy and passionate discussion because we love talking toys here on the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast.
For the best in science fiction, join Mark Baumgarten, Vicky Jakubowski, Zion Kiros, and Juan San Miguel on the award-winning podcast Mark Who 42's Universe. Doctor Who, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Star Trek, and more are all fair game with Mark Who 42, which has been around since 2012 in one form or another. Mark Who 42's Universe is proud to be a part of Geekcast Radio Network, the best place to get your geek on. Listen to us bi-weekly or weekly if we have a topic relevant for you, our listeners. Mark Who 42 on Geekcast Radio Network, a match made in a galaxy near you.
Do you like the Transformers?
Yes.
Do you like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Do you like IDW Comics?
And comic book podcasts?
Then come check out Ninjas and Bots. Each week we look at an issue of Transformers
or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from their IDW Comics incarnation. We drop episodes every Saturday morning.
Just like the cartoons we loved as a kid. The show can be found on your favorite podcatcher and at johnreadscomics.com.
See you then.
I know what we're doing today.
Okay, Michael, if we're going to tackle this podcast thing, we've got to do something really special. It has to be cool, daily, in audio form, and undetectable by radar. Something that screams summer. I know, let's do a Phineas and Ferb review podcast. We'll call it the Podcast Organization Without a Cool Acronym, or POWCA for short. What do you think?
I think if we're not careful, Candace is going to bust us.
You can find POWCA on the Geekcast Radio Network, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, and all of the other methods you find podcasts.
Okay, then. Carry on.
On the Simplistic Reviews podcast, we talk movies. We talk TV. We talk...
Hello, Julie, what the heck are you doing?
Trying to make our spots sound more exciting by adding explosions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could have got the point across with sound effects, not the real thing. Car.
Download the show on iTunes or at simplisticreviews.blogspot.com.
I'm sure your insurance company will cover that.
No, they won't.
No, they probably won't.
All right, folks, we are back here inside Studio 2009, only on the Geekcast Radio Network. This is the 99th episode of the podcast. As I said at the beginning, happy Halloweener, everybody. This episode is airing. You're hearing this in your ear holes on Halloween 2024. And, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking November off. We are not publishing any episodes for November.
Not even on Thanksgiving?
no, we can do a Thanksgiving episode on a separate podcast, but not this one.
All right.
And the reason why we're doing that is because of my insane ambition. Because in December...
Oh, no.
31 days, 31 podcasts.
Oh, my.
Starting at the beginning of December, episode 100 will be the podcast approach of my longtime friend, Terry Smith. I met Terry 5.5 years ago, almost 6 years ago. I met him through a mutual friend of ours, Jesse W. Jackson. Jesse does a podcast called Set Lusting Bruce, where he talks about Bruce Springsteen, but he talks about mostly Bruce Springsteen and people who are fans of that artist. Terry, for 5 years, did a podcast called Music Talks Podcast, where he would take you through your life, one song for each decade you've been alive.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an amazing series. Terry has since ended his show at 100 episodes, and I knew 5 years ago when I started this podcast, I knew episode 100 was going to be the podcast approach of Mr. Terry Smith. So that's coming up, and then, folks, the three of them don't know this yet, but I'm pulling rank. Episode 101 will be Deadpool and Wolverine with the lovely Chaos Queen here, my buddy Steve Megatron, and the Dragon Lord himself, Kai. So the four of us are going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's going to be controversial.
Oh, really? Is it? Really?
Oh, yes.
It says that like
it'll be fire.
And, well, of course it'll be fire.
Oh, yeah. Guys, keep your eyes open, because I'm going to make this a podcast to remember.
Every time, baby. Every time. You do it every time. And then looking into the looking glass here, as I'm...
Alice?
I'm late. I'm always late. I'm the White Rabbit. These have already been recorded. So ever since 2009 has been a thing, I've done 12 months of Star Wars. Now, originally, 12 months of Star Wars was one Star Wars podcast per month for 12 months. Well, since then, it's more like 3 Star Wars podcasts per month for every 12 months at this point. Because there's just so much stuff.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
There's 47 years of Star Wars stuff. 1977, 47 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So my buddy Dave Draper and I have already done the original trilogy. We did the prequels. We're going to be doing the sequels. So we're talking about the music in 2 episodes. So we got the prequel music in one podcast. We got the original trilogy music in another podcast. We start with the sequel trilogy in this month of December here in 2024 with Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. And then we're going to get the opportunity to interview Mr. Craig Miller, who wrote Star Wars Memories and More Movie Memories. This guy was actually there. He's the guy that actually started the Star Wars fandom stuff. He was literally there on Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. So Dave and I are going to do an episode discussing Craig's 2 books.
Geekgasm.
And then we are going to interview him. After that, Dave and I are going to be doing an episode on the holiday and the Lego holiday Star Wars special. I have never seen the original holiday special, Star Wars holiday special, mainly because it's all in Wookiee and nobody can understand it because there's no subtitles because nobody knows how to translate that stuff. And then...
You're telling me you don't know what Chewie's saying?
And nobody knows what Chewie's saying. Not even
I know what Chewie's saying.
No, you don't.
Chewie speaks to me.
That's a horrible impression.
That was bad. That was really bad.
Very bad. And then Dave and I are going to get our detective hats on. So we decided how we're doing this finally. And I'm like, they're all mini movies. We should do them one season at a time, one episode at a time. So for 9 episodes, we are going to review all of season 1 of Peter Falk, as Detective Columbo. So we're gonna go Columboing on television. What was that? Huh? What? Okay, she's fired. Oh boy. So yes, we're going to get our detective hats on, and we're going to just find out what that one more thing was that Mr. Columbo always had to have with solving crimes, because it's a good thing. It's a good series. And because it's good. It's not... We're going to be talking after this podcast. Anyway, after those 9 episodes, episode 120 to 132 actually, will be anniversary movies from 10 years ago all the way up to 31 years ago. We've got Before We Go, which is something you and I will do. It was Chris Evans' directorial debut from 2014.
Never seen it.
I'm sure you haven't, but you will. Unless you don't want to. Trust me, folks, if she says she doesn't want to do something, I don't press the issue. Then we've got the 20th anniversary of iRobot and Taxi. iRobot was Will Smith along with Shia LaBeouf. Taxi was Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah.
Yes.
The Dragon Lord Kai and I are going to do, because since he's an accountant by day, content creator by night, we are going to discuss Office Space. Yes, give me my stapler. Again, springing this on you now, we can discuss this later, but I think we already actually watched this together. We'll have to watch it together again. 25th anniversary of Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. I've got to find somebody for the 30th anniversary of Drop Zone and Terminal Velocity. Drop Zone was with Wesley Snipes. Terminal Velocity is Charlie Sheen. 30th anniversary of Pulp Fiction, Speed, Forrest Gump, which will be myself and Chaos, Demolition Man, The Shawshank Redemption, and Maverick. So that takes us all the way to the final 2 episodes of the year. And the 131st episode of the podcast will be the New Year's Eve of podcasts. It will air on New Year's Eve 2024. I have no idea what the format's going to be. I have no idea who the guest hosts are going to be. I just know I want to do a New Year's Eve podcast where we talk about resolutions and New Year's Eve parties in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all that stuff in general for that holiday that is New Year's Eve. Please, nobody get too drunk. And then to close out the year...
That feels a little pointed.
No, does not. No, does not. I said nobody get too drunk. Huge
Chaos, put the bottle away.
No, you know better than that. I would never say that. I know you're sober.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You are.
Darn.
Long time. Well, you kind of have to be. But anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I'm too busy figuring out all this other stuff. I will figure out the New Year's Eve podcast, trust me, before New Year's Eve, because we'll probably be recording it the day after Thanksgiving next month. And then the final episode of the year will be my buddy Dave and I, who's done all the Star Wars stuff with me. We are going to discuss the 1993 film based on a John Grisham novel starring Tom Cruise and Gene Hackman. It is none other than The Firm.
Oh.
Uh-huh. So that's the plan for Studio 2009 for the rest of 2024. And that's all you get, folks.
So while you're taking a break in November, you can always shoot by my place, because it's going to be fun.
That's right. All right. I was just going to get to that before I get to the closing of the show here. ZeChaosQueen has an amazing YouTube channel. She does all kinds of stuff. Why don't you tell the people about what you do over there at your YouTube channel, please?
I am a variety gamer. I do a lot of different games, but I mainly focus on survival, simulation, things that are cute and fun. And I'm bad at everything. So that's what makes it funny and entertaining.
She is not, and I swear she is not, and I swear she said stimulation, not simulation.
Did I?
No,
Freudian slip.
No, you said simulation. I just went dirty.
Dirty boy. But we have a lot of fun. I have a few co-streamers that I frequently go live with, but I am going to be moving more towards solo gaming and conversations. My main objective is to put a positive spin on mental health awareness, because it is very important to take care of not just your physical health, but your mental health.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. So that's going to do it for this episode, folks. Go watch Once Bitten. It's a hilarious movie from almost 40 years ago. You'll enjoy it. We enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And don't forget the popcorn.
You forget the popcorn one time, and you never live it down for the rest of your life.
Oh, God.
I have to go hide in a corner now because, oh my God, I didn't get her popcorn.
He has to go get me popcorn.
Uh-huh. Yep. Thank you for joining us here inside the studio. If you'd like to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show, there are several ways to do so. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can check out all of our content. You can listen to it. You can read it, because we also do written content over there as well. You can send an email to feedback@geekcastradio.com. You can check us out on any of the podcatching clients you choose to use. If you're a fruity Apple person, you can use Apple Podcast. If you're a superior person for Android, you can use Spotify and any other podcatching client you choose to use. You can follow us on Twitter at Geekcast Radio for the network, at It's Studio 2009 for the show. I am at TFG1Mike. Would you like to give your Twitter out?
I don't use Twitter.
She used to.
I used to.
Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network, and you'll also check out Studio 2009 podcast over there as well. As I mentioned earlier, join us next time when I will be talking to Mr. Terry Smith from Music Talks Podcast as I get his podcast approach here on Studio 2009. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
ZeChaosQueen.
You'll hear us back in the studio soon.
All right, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. It's very important. Take care of each other. Do something kind for a stranger. It costs $0 to be kind. And until next time, hugs and love. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You sounded so annoyed.
Bye.
Geekgasm.